excited for today?
Yes.
Good morning.
Dad, you want me to kill you?
Lily woke up to say goodbye to us and then she fell back asleep. Okay, bud, listen. You gotta take care of the girls. You gotta take care of the girls. Okay. I love you. Bye, Em. Stops recording. I'm having a great time.
We are heading to Las Vegas on Frontier Flight 1993. We are now boarding Zone 1. Again, that is Zone 1 heading to Las Vegas here at Outback.
See, when you go up high, then they can look at that thing. Waiting for our Uber. This man.
Maria, go pee.
Tiniest steak ever imagined.
Where are the lights?
Light.
Yay.
Vegas!
Why are we even here? No one even knows.
To go to a workshop.
Yes, we're getting our learning on. Well, half of us is. Rosemary, huh? Now, all right, your favorite restaurant, wife.
In all
Anytime
of Vegas.
we ever travel anywhere, we must eat dinner at McDonald's.
Even when we went to Paris.
Yeah. It's a Big Mac salad with fries. McDouble with no onions, extra pickles. Okay, girl. And fries. Coffee. Yeah. We're exploring the strip.
We're running on the edge.
Yeah. So, it would be cool to get the pass if we're here a lot.
Arriving at Westgate Las Vegas Stadium. This trip has over 4 miles of any time and tickets.
We're in Paris. The Paris.
The Bellagio. Remember, that's where I cried the first time. You said the bartender was gonna think I was being kidnapped.
And then there's Caesar's Palace.
But this is really very aesthetic.
Very sick. Very excited.
Oh my gosh.
Thinking about getting this for Christmas. What do you guys think? Never can zoom in.
To
right
find
up, it's
something
right there.
sweet. Cosmopolitan.
That's right.
Look how pretty the cabanas are.
But you're more beautiful.
Okay. They do it, they change it out by season.
Somebody else have pickpocketed
Okay, I
you?
found.
You got worried, didn't you? Didn't you, girl? Do a little swooping action. So, the conservatory at the Bellagio, that's what this is.
Yeah.
Walked by here before and took a picture.
Yes, we did.
Back when we were younger. Not so old. How are you feeling?
So tired. Well, I want a treat. Yes!
Where are you going?
To the scaling workshop by Alex Hormozi, so we'll see how it goes.
You look great.
Thanks.
All right, well, Brandee's at the workshop and I'm trying to get her next video uploaded to YouTube. So far, she's enjoyed it. She's excited. They don't allow cameras recording, but she'll be done around 6:30. It's time to do some editing and some uploading. We'll see you. So, hon, you went on an adventure
We're
today.
at dinner. You're not doing that.
Yes, I am.
You're such a dork.
She finished her first day and she has lots of notes for us about this wonderful workshop.
Yes.
Starting with security, because that
My
was
brain is melting.
my favorite part so far.
You get there and there's people greeting you as you pull up. There's staff outside the building.
Like opening doors?
Not opening doors, but there's staff everywhere. And they're like, hi, this is who I am. You know, like introducing themselves and stuff. Who are you? Where are you flying in from? They have you take a waiver as soon as you get there, basically saying you know they're filming. And then when you get through security, then you meet the welcome team, and that's where they give you your badge. And it's like you give them the waiver, they hand you a badge. Which, side note, this is the only place I've ever been in my entire 46 years as a female where the line for the female restroom was no line, 0 line, and the line for the men's restroom was down the hall because there was probably 110 people there.
110.
Only 5 women. I met 2 guys that were there in the events business from London. They do AV production for events, all types of events. And then the guy right next to me does wealth management for high-earning people. I felt pretty good. Thankfully, I've watched enough of Alex's videos, especially the ones he's done recently with like the business owner where he's like ripping apart their business with them. So I had done a lot of the calculations ahead of time because I was like, I was afraid we'd get here and they'd be like, you know, you'd meet with somebody and they'd immediately be like, what's your LTV? What's your CAC? What's your, you know, and I'm like, ah. So I had all that written on my first page before I even came.
Chicken parm with buffalo mozzarella, fresh basil, sea bream with wild arugula, leeks, lemon squeeze on the side.
Is it good? You like it? That's tasty.
Yeah. You feel
It's
like
actually good.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Probably because I like the crunchy skin.
Started off with their director of operations.
Yeah, their operating director. He's like Alex's right hand. He was one of the gyms that was part of Gym Launch.
Okay, fun.
And Alex did this like promotion, I guess, of like whoever sells the most supplements when they started their supplement company gets to come to my house for the day, and I'm going to teach you more about launching your gym or making your gym great. And he did that every month for like 2 years, and the guy was the top salesperson every single month.
Wow.
So he went to his house every month. He's like, so this workshop used to be at Alex and Leila's table, kitchen table.
Oh yeah?
I mean, it wasn't this workshop, it was during gym launch, but you know. Alex helped him exit his gym business.
Okay.
And then he now runs this. Only 6% of businesses ever reach $1 million in revenue. Only 1.2% of all businesses ever hit $10 million in revenue. This was something I thought was interesting, is a lot of entrepreneurs get sad with only a 20% growth. 20% growth year over year, you would 2.5 times your business in 5 years. So basically what he was saying is like, it doesn't have to be a hockey stick. Like, focus on measurable growth every year, year over year. Because then the scaling workbook, that scorecard that I showed you in the front, you fill that out with each speaker. And then Alex broke down how to work through it. So it was like, you have all these metrics to make a sellable business. Because that's really what they focus on, is how to make your business sellable. Whether you're gonna sell it or not, how do you make it sellable? The way that they have the scorecard listed out is how you should work on things. So like, they were saying if the first section, which is only revenue and EBITDA, that's the only thing in the first section. If that's not at least $1 million, do not even go on to the rest of it. Basically, you work through the scorecard with each presenter, then the presenter right before Alex kind of ties it all together. They show you how to calculate your business current valuation. And they were like, a lot of you probably have a negative valuation. And he's like, that sucks, right? And then they were talking about how like, but sometimes a business can be great for you. Like if it pays your mortgage, you love what you do, like you can, you know, enjoy a life that you like, and you don't have to answer to somebody else, like that's a great business for you. He's like, but if you're wanting to make it sellable, a negative valuation obviously isn't going to work. If you have great retention, then people find value in your product. So retention rate is a really big metric for business valuation.
Yeah.
More just because they want to know, do people like it? Like once you get them in the door, do they like it? Do they stay? 9 ways to change retention. So this was the next speaker. This was Frank. What? Oh, Frank's role is their director of recruitment. They were saying he's basically hired every person in that building except for Alex and Leila. And they were like, he spends the most time with Leila besides Alex, because Leila really does more of the hiring. I had a whole presentation on hiring. That was the last one, because it was like, once you do your scorecard and you can see what your constraint is your constraint sales, is it marketing, is it operations, whatever, then we have to hire for that. So how do you know who you want to hire, and then how do you hire? The LTV to CAC ratio is probably what threw me off the most, because I've always heard that a 3 to 1 is a really good LTV to CAC, lifetime value compared to your customer acquisition cost. So you want that to be at least 3 to 1.
Okay.
So basically, if it costs you $50 to acquire a customer, your CAC, you want them to be worth at least $150 lifetime value, 3 to 1. Coming in, I thought mine was 7 to 1. I found out it was 4 to 1, but I was still super happy with that, because they include a lot more in their CAC than I was. They were like, no, 3 to 1 is for software businesses, or even e-commerce, like where you don't need a sales team, you don't need people to deliver it. It's just like someone clicks, they buy, you ship. Like that's 3 to 1. They expected 10 to 1. So it was a little defeating, I'm not gonna lie, because I was like, wow. But I went and spoke to the presenter that presented on that after, because I was like, I was so defeated by that. Like I thought it was 3 to 1, and she was like, here's the thing, like what's your current? I told her 4 to 1. She was like, honestly, it's not the first thing I focus on. It's like the 5th thing on the scorecard. So she was like, focus on everything above that first. And she said, until you have $5 million in EBITDA, which would be like a $10 million business or more, don't even focus on it. But then Alex later said he obsesses over it. He was like, I tinker with that number. It's the number I obsess over. I need to get more clarity on that tomorrow. Like, how much should I obsess over this number? Because it is a big deal, because to his point, he's like, I mean, you're scaling, but you don't have enough profit, because if your LTV to CAC is not high enough, then you're scaling, but you're scaling what? And he was like, that number will only go down. as you get bigger, because the colder your traffic, the harder it is to sell somebody, the harder it is to find them. So it's only going to go down. So he's like, while you're small and you have an organic business, it's the highest it'll ever be. We either need to get that way up or bring CAC way down. And I don't see CAC going down. Really the biggest factors there are sell more customers. So if we average 40 customers a month for that same spend, but typically to get more customers, you've got to spend more on advertising or do more organic. There's only two ways of changing. Either get cheaper customers or make every customer worth more money. Okay, so then this Justin guy came. He does their acquisitions, chooses companies that they acquire, and he scores them, basically. One of the biggest risks is key man risk, which is like, obviously, when you're like me, but it could also be an employee. Like a lot of small businesses have like one key employee that if they left, like everything would go to hell. So they were saying that's what they call a unicorn. If you ever have a unicorn leave, don't fill it with another unicorn, fill it with unicorn parts. So then you hire a horse, and you hire fireflies, and you hire a rhinoceros. You know, these corn and the wings, and because you shouldn't have a unicorn. With Gym Launch, they had to take 12 months to start weaning him out of all the advertising. Also key client risk, like if you have a big whale of a client that makes up 70% of your business, terrible. Single channel risk if all of your clients come from one channel. I talk to my students about that a lot. I actually was just talking about that. Like if you get almost all referrals, that's actually a problem. If that like one venue stops referring, or their sales manager leaves and some new sales manager comes in, you're screwed. Like all your business relies on that. We're not supposed to worry about any of these detractors until you have $1 million a month. They showed a pie chart of everybody that was in the room, like how big their businesses were. The majority of the room was $1 million business. It was like 60-something%. There were definitely businesses that were much higher, like 3 to 5 million seemed like the biggest. So during lunch, I'm sitting there at the end, and I was kind of reviewing my notes, and the sales guy, well, I didn't know he was a sales guy, but he came up to me and he was like, oh, I've been watching you on Your Remarkable, do you love it? And I was like, yeah, you know, we started talking blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, do you work for acquisition? He was like, yeah. And I asked what he did, and he said he's the director of sales. And I was like, interesting. Because like that's the biggest bottleneck I feel like we have right now is sales. I'm a great salesperson, but getting the funnel cleaned up to get her more calls.
Yeah.
He sat with me for like 15 minutes, probably, maybe a little longer, and we were just talking about sales and like different things that we can do in our funnel to get more calls to show up. But he was like, I mean, if your overall sales conversion is 37%, he was like, that's great. Like, I would scale that puppy, like, just go. So I was like, I just keep feeling like I need to optimize it more before we spend more. And he was like, no, she just needs more calls. Like, you just got to get her more calls. And I'm like, yeah, but shouldn't I try to get more of those calls to show up? He's like, of course, but like, right now, if these are your numbers, they're not bad numbers at all. And he said, your setter almost has to be more aggressive than your salesperson, because if you have a setter that's like super passive, like, oh, he's like, it's not gonna work. And Alex too was like, listen, there's nothing worse than a sales manager that has 2 or 3 calls a day, because they're not like warmed up. They're like, got a call, then they go do laundry, they've got, you know, other things they're doing, and they have to get on another call. He's like, you want your salesperson to be like back to back to back, because then they get in the group and they just sell. So talking to him during lunch was great. He wasn't one of the speakers either. He said he is going to do one of the roundtables tomorrow. So the roundtables, there's 6 of them, and you rotate through each one.
All right, today, Brandee's at the workshop, day 2. Instead of going to the gym, I think I'm going to walk around Las Vegas Strip and see if I can't stay alive, number 1. Number 2, find something interesting. So it's our last day here. We wake up tomorrow morning around 4 in the morning to head back to Orlando. So we'll be heading out that way. Keeping Brandee in mind today. She is reporting back that it's like a fire hose today, and I was like, well, what's the difference between that and yesterday? But we've had a good time. Big decision to be made today. We're praying about that. We'll see how the Lord leads. We'll see you on the Strip. people are ziplining from one side of the shopping area all the way to the other. Did you have just a great day today?
Yes.
Caught you in mid-yawn.
I'm so tired.
It's pretty out here
It is
at
really
night. So yeah, now we take the air bridge.
Our flight is delayed out of Atlanta, we'll tell you. And then we can figure it out. But as long as our flight's on time out of Atlanta.
Honey's gotta go to the link. What did you get?
You got a milkshake for your bath. I mean,
My
the girls
bath?
will have fun with it. No, for the girls. How was your Flying Dutchman?
It was so good.
What?
And good morning.
Good morning.
We're heading to the airport. Norika, bye, fancy room. Time to go. Goofy. It was just.
This looks like you.
No, that does not look
Yes,
like me.
as a teenager, it looks exactly like
What airline are you flying?
Delta.
So during the normal hours of the day, we drive Vietnam vets and disabled vets around, helping them do stuff. And I drive an 86-year-old Vietnam vet to his chemotherapy.
Yeah, I'll be on
I got a mini. We get in at 5:15, so you'll just need to either drop Lily off first. This is when I regret not wearing makeup.
Look at my hair. I like this.
Clear of any potential trip hazards.
We're almost home.
Are we? Are we?
Just one more leg left.
Let me get this text up.
We're on the last leg. Rented a car from Tampa to get home. We just went to a McDonald's. It was closed.
It's 9:38, by the way, so they're not closed. They just didn't want to take any more orders. This is the second time I've made a video like this. I've also flown home from Vegas and got stuck in Dallas and had to drive all the way home. Thankfully, this is much shorter than driving home from Dallas.
But we're excited we got a car from
Yes.
Enterprise. Thanks, Enterprise. It's a nice little Chevy, teeny little SUV. All right. See you soon.
Bit in the lounge with the
Oh, we
food
made
is
it
like,
home.
Yay!
Yay!
The food is like mid.